Warning: Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
The term foundational Black American, I really got that term from Claude Anderson. I'm a big student of Claude Anderson, and I would chop it up with him, not just in my movies, but I would have him on my podcast, and he would talk about how unique Native Black Americans are. He would use the term Native Black Americans, and he would talk about how unique we are as far as our lineage. We are a unique group, which is true. And I started using the term Native Black American, but sometimes that term would confuse people because they thought, well, do you mean a Cherokee who's mixed with Black? Do you mean a Choctaw who's mixed with Black? So that term would be somewhat confusing. So I said, let's do another term. Let's tighten that term up so that there won't be any confusion. So foundational instead of Native, because Black people, we are the founders of this nation, meaning we're the foundation. We built this nation from scratch. So white people couldn't even say that they did that. But
you changed that term?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I came up with the
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click that link in the description, go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, welcome back to another Sunday service. Welcome back to another Sunday service. Family, today I wanted to talk about this word that's being floated around all over social media, from TikTok to X to Instagram. And that word being Psyop. And all the people who's running around here talking about FBA, that is a Psyop group. Whether being foreign or not, that word is being tossed around as if it is the new version of Black. And family, today I really want to address that. And so we are. Before we do, though, got to do what we do best here. Go ahead and give a shout out to the family, and then we're going to jump into it. So first and foremost, certified B1 salute and a shalom to our sister, Miss Nisi, aka Hurricane Nisi, in the building. Reparations Nation, Black RU, our family Aquarius minded. Andrea Jones is in the building. Casey Malone is in the building. Salute to you, family. Priscilla Taylor, my sister, is in the building. Salute to you as well. Patricia A. Jones is in the building. Salute to you, my sister. Rashad Wallace is in the building. Salute to you, family. Our family AO is in the building. Salute to you, family. Wild Williams, salute to you, my brother. Leonard De Yuda is in the building. Salute to you, family. Willie McKinley is in the building. Salute to you, family. Quasi Black Star is in the building, family. Salute to you. JV B-Boy is in the building. Salute to you, family. Let's see. Crack Netter is in the building. Salute to you, family. Much love to you. Let's see here. Who else we got? Who else we got? Delphine Jackson, thank you for being here, family. Much love to you and salute to you as well. William Eric, my brother, shalom and salute to you, family. To Mrs. L, thank you for being here. Shalom and salute to you. My brother Christopher Ellis, shalom and salute to you, and thank you for your Cash App donation, family. Oh, where'd it go? Thank you for your Cash App donation, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and it's always a pleasure. Always good to be in the fellowship with the family all day, family, all day. Let's see who else we got here. Make sure we ain't forgot nobody. I missed nobody. Uncensored Truth, salute and shalom to you, family. LaShawn Kent, shalom and salute to you, family. Brother Damian Reeves, shalom and salute to you, family, in case I did not catch you. And for all those who are not in the chat, shalom and salute to you. And for everybody who's going to be caught in the replay, gang, much love and salute to each and every one of you. Oh, buzzer beater. Shalom and salute to our sister Angelica Lane. And thank you for being here, family. Now, I really want to get into this because there's a lot of this nonsense and it's real hypocritical. It's real hypocritical because a lot of these folks who are out here calling out FBA being a Psyop. Salute to our family, Crystal Watson. Thank you for being here, family. FBA being a Psyop and all this other nonsense. They intentionally ignore all these other situations that could be looked at as more of a Psyop than anything else you look around and see. No one ever brings up those Psyops though. But we're going to bring up those Psyops and the hypocrisy in those Psyops here today. So let's start off here, family.
There's an internet Psyop taking advantage of undereducated African Americans called the FBA movement. FBA stands for Fear of Being African, I think, and it's causing a sect of African Americans who didn't graduate high school for the most part to grab onto certain catchphrases and hot terms to disparage African people and distance themselves from their own African ancestry. They claim they've always been in America and the Native Americans are really the ones who came over to America. Like, it's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Something I noticed about these people online is that every single one of their accounts look a lot like bot accounts. And the ones that aren't bot accounts, you can tell by their profiles that these are losers. These are people that contribute nothing to the African-American community, but they're so proud of being African-American based on, I don't fucking know what. And I'm an African-American. I'm very proud of my ancestry. I'm proud of the things that we've accomplished. I'm proud of who we are, but we're African people that were born in America. And the most intelligent thing we can do strategically and socially and politically is to connect with the continent. Otherwise, if we isolate ourselves in the Americas, we will get genocided. So whoever is behind this PSYOP wants you all to get murdered. You're distancing yourselves from Caribbean folks and African people saying they want to be us. And we're like, it's the dumbest shit ever. I just want people to be aware of it. Don't fall for it. It's like the African-American MAGA, meaning you're getting nothing out of it. And it's always the lowest of us, literally the lowest of us, the least intelligent, the least attractive, the least wealthy are holding on to that just the same way the worst white people hold on to MAGA, you know? Like Dr. Umar said, you don't want to be African? Fine, stay the fuck away from us, okay? And don't speak for us. Don't speak to African people on our behalf. Don't speak to Caribbean people on our behalf because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? They're not trying to steal your identity or steal the reparations that you will not get from America. So let us smart people connect with the continent, connect with our heritage, connect with who we are. Foundational. What the fuck? The founding of what? America, a genocidal white supremacist country that's owned by Israel. But you guys have been in America. You're so proud. You're a bunch of fucking dummies.
All right, family. I wanted that to play all the way through without any interruptions. Now we're going to go back through there and chop down what he was saying. But before we do, I saw the tether alert up in the building. We're going to have to throw this one out. All right, let's replay that and take that from the top.
There is an internet psyop taking advantage of undereducated African Americans called the FBA movement. FBA stands for Fear of Being African, I think, and it's causing a sect of African Americans who didn't graduate high school for the most part to grab onto certain catchphrases and hot terms to disparage African people and distance themselves from their own African ancestry.
Now, first and foremost, the very disrespectful nature that this man is coming to us with shows you off the jump that this man is a straight up tether. Period, point in black. Period, point in black. There's no other way around it. Shalom and salute to our family. Mia Kim is in the building. Also, Foundational Black Am. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. This is straight up tether material here. Has no reasoning behind nothing he's saying. First thing he does is start attacking foundational Black Americans, and with the stupidest punchline: fear of being African. The only people that was actually trying to unite all of the melanated people across the world for decades has a fear of being African. You sound stupid in the head. I'm pretty sure you are. He says also that the bulk of us did not graduate from high school. Family, these are the people that want us to link up with them and unite to go and fight for Africa. Nobody ever said that anybody has to call themselves FBA. We just know what we are. We labeled ourselves. Shalom and salute to our family. JJ, thank you for being here, family. And anybody who has a problem with the terminology that we decided to call ourselves, we must ask the question why that is. Why do you care what we're calling ourselves? If you want to call yourself an African American, call yourself an African American. But you also, while you're running around here talking as if we're being divisive and all this other stuff, right? You're also negating the fact that a lot of these Africans are coming here disrespecting us, and we're reacting to a reaction, to an action, excuse me. We're reacting to inaction. But go ahead.
They claim they've always been in America, and the Native Americans are really the ones who came over to America. Like, it's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
And that's another reason why I know that you're a tether, because it's the dumbest stuff that you ever heard when there is scientific evidence coming out every single day. People are coming out, archaeologists are coming out all the time and stating the very same thing. But no one is calling your talking points a psyop beside us. Using psyop talking points in order to try to label us a psyop. Go figure.
Something I noticed about these people online is that every single one of their accounts look a lot like bot accounts. And the ones that aren't bot accounts, you can tell by their profiles that these are losers. These are people that contribute nothing to the African American community, but they're so proud of being African American based on, I don't fucking know what. And I'm an African American. I'm very proud of my ancestry.
Debatable. He's African American 9 times out of the 10. He's literally from Africa who came to America. Also, let's go here, because he says that he tried to use the Joy Reid talking point. Oh, these people are bots. These are bot accounts. They look like bots. And the ones who are not are losers. Family, I've seen in the time the FBA movement got its wings, I've seen political professionals, lawyers, doctors, film producers, professors, tenured professors, authors, illustrators, plumbers, roofers, construction workers, police officers. Just name the profession. I've seen all different kinds of profession within this FBA lineage and people who claim to be FBA. So if you're calling all those people losers, then what are you calling yourself? Mr. Scam African? Just a question.
Proud of the things that we've accomplished. I'm proud of who we are, but we're African people that were born in America. And the most intelligent.
Speak for yourself, sir. Speak for yourself. See, you're big on, and this is one of the points that he makes in a little bit. He's very big on us not speaking for all foundational Black Americans, in which we never claimed to do. But yet you turn around and try to speak for all foundational Black Americans. We come from Africa. This is the Psyop talking point. Why y'all trying to call us a Psyop? RA man, thank you for being here, family. Shalom and salute to you.
Intelligent thing we can do strategically and socially and politically is to connect with the continent.
We tried that for decades and the continent told us no, called us cicadas, pushed us away and everything else. But continue.
Otherwise, if we isolate ourselves in the Americas, we will get genocided. So,
family, the borders was widely closed up until 1966. We was here by ourselves, still fighting this white supremacist system, turning up. What is this dude talking about? See, they love to have this fantasy that we can't stand on our own. We got to have everybody else's nonsense included within our movement in order to make it popular, when we've never had everybody else's nonsense to make ourselves popular in the first damn place. We are looked at globally as the ones to be, whether it's in political advocacy, whether it's in sports, fashion, you name the damn industry. And we did all of that on our own, enclosed with ourselves.
So whoever is behind this psyop wants you all to get murdered. Your distance.
Then immediately over to the fear tactic. Straight over to the fear mongering. Whoever is in control of this psyop wants you to get unalived. Ain't that the same damn thing? Everything that these, and I'm very, very, very sure that this dude is most likely a Democratic shill as well. Because everything that he's saying, it sounds like the exact same way that the Democratic shills be over here fear-mongering too. Straight out the DNC playbook. Exactly, Miss Nisi. Shout out to you. Straight out the Democratic playbook. Oh, you got to make sure you put them Negroes in fear so that they'll run back. They can't run if they're not running from something.
Yourselves from Caribbean folks and African people saying they want to be us, and we're like, it's the dumbest shit ever.
Is it? Prove us wrong. Right now, you're sitting there, and I'm sure you're Nigerian. You're sitting there dressed as a foundational Black American, speaking in foundational Black American aesthetics, and trying your hardest to convince us that we're not who we say we are. And you're only able to do that by what? Sitting here cosplaying. But we're going to dig deeper into that as well.
I just want people to be aware of it. Don't fall for it. It's like the African American MAGA, meaning you're getting nothing out of it. And it's always the lowest of us, literally the lowest of us, the least intelligent.
Who is us? Who is us? You're a scam African. We don't have the same ideologies. Shalom and salute to Stale. Thank you for being here, family, as well as Yolanda. Much love to you, family. B1, salute to you. I just want to know who the hell is us. Low IQ, all this other stuff. It sounds just like who? The white supremacists. So who's really using Psyop talking points?
The least attractive, the least wealthy are holding on to that. Just
the least intelligent, the least attractive, the least wealthy. Not a people who is collectively coming together and saying, we're going to identify ourselves. Damn letting someone else identify us for the purposes of making sure people can't just assimilate into our culture and then turn around and use their face in order to talk against everything that we're fighting for our culture. Oh, it can't be that. It has to be the worst of everybody in the population, right? And these people really think that they're getting any type of traction with this. This is that Obama finger wave at the black community nonsense. Thinking that you can just wag your finger and talk stuff to us and think that we're going to listen to you or pay attention to anything you have to say. That's completely ludicrous. Shalom and salute to John's son. Thank you for being here, family.
Same way the worst white people hold on to MAGA, you know? Like Dr. Umar said, if you don't want to be African, fine.
When he said, like Dr. Umar said, automatically anybody's ears who hadn't shed off already, most intelligent ears most likely shed off way before this. But if you need to hear a little bit more, I'm guaranteed after you heard Dr. Umar, that was it. That was it. From this day forth, anytime someone mentioned Dr. Umar just out of anywhere for any reason, I'm going to look at him like a tether off vert, period, point in black. Because more and more foundational black Americans is calling out Dr. Umar. And the tethers have made him like a Jesus figure for them because he's preaching the scam African doctrine. And they don't want to lose their proximity to us.
Stay the fuck away from us, okay? And don't speak for us.
But yet you just took it upon yourself to speak for everyone else. That's interesting.
Don't speak to African people on our behalf. Don't speak to Caribbean people on our behalf because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? They're not trying to steal your identity or steal the reparations that you will not get from America.
Then why is AFRICOM, excuse me, not AFRICOM, my apologies. Why is the AU out here trying to put themselves as the front runner and the person to talk to about reparations globally then? If y'all believe that, if y'all truly believe that America is not going to pay reparations, then why the hell is African Union sitting there trying to be the go-to person for reparations, dummy? Yeah, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to mention that. They want to just tiptoe over that fact. Oh, America's never going to give us reparations. If that was the case, then why is everybody so scared of reparations? Everybody's moving as if reparations is just a dream away, just one night away. Waking up in the morning and reparations to be right there because they're moving with expeditious haste. They are very hasty nowadays when we're speaking about reparations. Why? Because everybody knows the power we just exhibited, and everybody knows everything that we say and everything we put the energy behind happens. And they're seeing it get closer and closer and closer, to the point where you have these Africans in the the AU, the AU doing every undermining policy and trick that they can in order to put themselves in the position to get our reparations from over here. Tell me that, Tether. You fake ass T-Pain looking mother lover. Tell me that. You're too busy concerning yourself with loving the bartender to even think about that, aren't you? Nah, I get it. You're too busy concerned living the good life, right? Welcome to the good life. You good? I get it. Because that's the Tether's dream. I get it. Salute to Angelic. It's a projection and gaslighting from these people for me. Yeah, exactly. It's the gaslighting 100%.
So let us smart people connect with the continent, connect with our heritage, connect with who we are. Foundational. What the fuck? The founding of what? America?
Yes, sir. And this is another way you can tell the Tether. The fact that this person going off into everything wrong with America except for everything that he fled to, everything that's right with it. You're the foundation of what? America? Yes. Just like Jamaicans are the foundings of Jamaica. Just like the Puerto Ricans are the founding of Puerto Rico. But yet, you have a problem with us being the foundation here. But continue.
Genocidal white supremacist country that's owned by Israel. But you guys are abandoned America. You're so proud. You're a bunch of fucking dummies.
We're dummies for calling you guys out. Okay, interesting. Let's go here, family.
African American. What happened to the proud Africans? What happened to the...
Hey, I have a even better question there. Is what happened to the African Americans that used deductive reasoning and understood that Pan-Africanism was the key to liberation? What happened to Black consciousness?
It's called evolving. It's called not doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, because that's called insanity.
I say that just to say that the hyper focus on nationalism on both sides of the equation is part of the reason why the oppressor is able to come in and do what he wills to us, and we continue to be subject. Now, I get it.
No. The reason why the oppressor is able to do what he's doing is because of the fact he has a face that he can run in there in order to put on a mask for him. The face runs cover for the oppressor in the oppression. And when we call out that face who's running cover for the quote unquote master and the oppression, then everybody has an issue. Then we're the ones being white supremacists. Go figure. Salute to DL. Thank you for being here. Shalom to you, family, as well as Aisha FBA. Shalom and salute to you, my sister. Thank you for being here. Yeah, exactly. D9 Babble. That's all it is. Tether Babble. Boule Babble. Let's continue.
We don't want those foreign brothers and sisters interfering with our struggle for reparations. I get it. I'm with you. But I think that a lot of us are taking a very short-sighted, simplistic understanding about the realities of the slave trade. The slave trade was global in nature. You do understand that some of us ended up here by happenstance, okay? Some of us had our families sent to Brazil or Mexico or to Cuba or to...
Family, why they keep bringing up that point like that point has anything to do with us? I don't give a damn if slavery was a global situation. I don't give a damn if there was slavery in Brazil or Cuba, Jamaica, or any of that nonsense. Why? Because we're not there. We didn't build up those countries. Also, none of them went through any kind of slavery in the manner that we went through. The most barbaric slavery type in history happened right here by the most barbaric people. So whenever they bring up that nonsense, oh, there was slavery all over the world. And, you know, there was slavery in Brazil. There was slavery in Jamaica. There was slavery in Haiti. Okay, cool. Go over there and help them fix themselves over there. Because we have nothing to do with them over there. They're entirely different countries. Why the hell am I tied to somebody else's struggle in an entirely different country when they come over here and help my struggle intensify, literally help perpetuate the oppression? Answer me that question. And if you can't, then you need to shut the hell up.
to Jamaica while we were sent here. When we're talking about New World Africans, talking about Africans that are here as a result of the transatlantic slave trade, you're talking about a large extended family. Let me draw a couple of analogies for you that should help us look at things from a much more balanced, logical standpoint. Since it's that time of year, we're going to talk about the good old-fashioned family reunion / barbecue. I know the term y'all use here on TikTok is the cookout, but I never heard of that shit till I got on this application. We always said the barbecue or family reunion.
What does that tell you, family? Because that tells me that this man isn't FBA at all. As long as I can remember, it's been called the cookout. Even when we do family reunions, there's a cookout associated with the family reunion. Salute to Eric Ford. Thank you for being here, family, as well as our sister Cooking with Miss D and Opal Ivory. Thank you for being here, family. Oh, Rio, you in the building here today? Yeah, let me make sure you get up out of here. You're banned. Hold up. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold up. See? Wrong person. And my sister, Miss Aquarius Minded. Oh, my sister, I'm sorry. I have to go in. Give me a second, family. Dealing with this troll. I done messed up on my sister. Hold up. Hold up, family. My apologies, but I gotta fix this real quick. Let me see what is going on here. Up. Any of my mods in the chat, do me a favor and please ungoddang block our sister Aquarius Minded. The chat was moving a little quickly as I was trying to block that troll. And I'm having issues trying to pull it up on my phone for some reason. Please take care of that for me. And my sister Aquarius, you have my humblest apologies. Thank you, Miss Nisi. Thank you. Let's that goddamn tether coming in made me lose my train of thought. Give me 1 second. Okay, good. Appreciate you, Reparations Nation. Also, make sure she still has I think Miss Nisi, I think you have the power of the wrench to make sure she still have her wrench as well. Yeah, please give her back her wrench. If you have the power to, make sure she gets it back. Otherwise, I'll take care of it after this. But yeah, family, that damn tether, that goddamn trolling tether made me lose my train of thought. Let's get back into this clip, though.
So check it out. I'm gonna use my mother's family, for instance. My mother from Alabama. Her mother.
Okay, there we go. Now I got a refresher there. The dude who said he never heard of the cookout. Yeah, so family, I want y'all to let me know, because like I said, a family reunion isn't a family reunion without a cookout. It is. You get together, but I've always known the family reunions to have the cookout. Let's keep it 100. Tell me if I'm wrong. Because there is a difference between getting together for dinner and then the cookout, the mac and cheese, the grill, the goddamn freaking fried chicken, or the grilled goddamn steak or ribs or whatever, brisket, goddamn potato salad, banana pudding. All that's going to be at the cookout. That's going to be at any cookout. But more specifically, that's going to be at every event, such as the family reunion. You can have a cookout without the family reunion. That goes to show that this dude just don't know what he's talking about.
Their last name was Hanks, all right? In that family, I want to say you had like 8 kids, 3 of them were boys, 5 of them was girls. All right. The boys went and did their thing. Their last name is Hanks. Okay. It's the Hanks family. So then my grandmother's sister, my grandmother became Mrs. Densmore. So you had the Densmores, you had the Moores, you had the Eberhards, you had the Burns, you had the Holloways.
Salute to Sean Barnes. It says, we have a movie called Cookout. Exactly. And we got a movie called Family Reunion. That what? It circles, it's centered around the cookout. I mean, come on. Shalom and salute to our brother DJ Black 909. Thank you for being here, family.
All right. Okay, now check it out. Then you got the Hanks. Those are the boys. Okay. Now, under that umbrella of the Hanks family, you got the Densmores, the Eberhards, the Moores, the Eberhards, the families that I named. I'm getting them confused. Rest in peace to all of y'all. I love y'all. I miss y'all. Anyhow, check it out. Then you have the grandchildren of those daughters. My last name, me and my brother and sister, we have an African last name because of our father and his family. Okay. All right. Now, when all of the kids.
Ding, 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 ding. I think we found the winner. Didn't I say he don't know because he's most likely a tether? And didn't he just admit that he has an African last name because of his father? Ding, 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 ding. So you didn't learn any of these customs. You didn't learn anything about what we do and how we move. Salute DSA 1. Thank you for being here, family, as well as Buka Buck. Excuse me. Everything moving fast over here. Everything moving fast on this side. Thank you for being here, family. Salute to you.
Are playing, right? The Densmore descended kids, because even though I got the African last name in this family reunion, we the Densmores, all right? The Densmores, we might have our little inner squabbles and this and that, but damn it, we're not gonna fight with each other over the Moors. You understand? And the Moors and Eberhards had a closer connection because of the grandmas and all of this kind of stuff. So they had a natural alliance, boom, 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 boom. And we might all be tussling in the grass and stuff or playing basketball.
I don't even need to finish this because you basically just proved my point. There is literally like the reason why you're going off with all this tether babble is because of the fact you're connected to the tether. And no, I'm not talking about the black immigrant. I'm talking about the fact that you are a tether yourself. That's why you pushing this tether babble. Rather than addressing the actual situation, you're trying to call the foundational black Americans a Psyop, a co-op, a COINTELPRO. So I don't even have to continue to play this, family. Shalom, salute to our brother Shabazz, American Freeman. Thank you for being here, as well as you. Thank you for being here, family. Let's go here. I know y'all seen this chick before. We're going to get into her other video, but let's let her talk here. I want y'all to listen to the mindset.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about the rise of like the FBA movement / the anti-black immigrant sentiment that I've seen lately on social media. Now I'm not too sure where this came from, but me personally, I first encountered this maybe back in like 2023, I believe, on Twitter. So it was a Twitter space, and this Twitter space was about how immigrants are essentially affecting Black Americans and how they are maybe taking away certain opportunities from Black Americans. This wasn't focused on any particular group of immigrants, but then later on in the space, it did shift to Black immigrants in particular and how they may be taking things away from Black Americans. And I would also like to add, while this Twitter space was going on, like there were Africans and Black Americans literally yelling slurs at one another through the phone. There were even white conservatives that literally came up there as well. Even the Fresh and Fit guy came up there as well. Like, I'm not too sure. Yes, the Fresh and Fit guy, of course, he was on the side of the Africans. You know, he's East African. I don't remember what the conservative guy was doing, but girl, they were in there and it was very, very messy. And there was a huge fallout from this space. And mind you guys, this was a space that went on for over 24 hours. So this is from like where I noticed a lot of this propaganda started to rise was from that day. Because if you were there, you would know that like Tariq Nasheed came in there. There was a lot going on. A lot of people came in there that day. And so from there, I started seeing a lot more Black American people referring to themselves as foundational Black American. And so I noticed that a lot of them were trying to distance themselves from Africa and talk about how, you know, they were already here and stuff like that. They were also native to the land of America, things of that nature, which, mind you, that claim is getting so bad. I'm starting to see Native Americans have to come out and like refute that claim and say like, no, girl, like respectfully, we are the original.
Notice how this woman just tried to sit here and say, oh, yeah, it's getting so bad that the Native Americans have to come out and refute it, but they're not giving any facts. They're not giving any data. They're not giving anything that we're bringing forth to them. We're bringing documents. We're bringing data. We're bringing history. We're bringing archaeologists. We're bringing goddamn the Library of Congress. And they're just coming out saying, no, it's not true. It's not true. So who's really refuting who? Salute to Mary. B1 salute to you, family. Shalom to you. Thank you for being here.
Natives, but I noticed this very strong push to separate and create a distinction between Black Americans who are descendants from slavery versus, you know, everybody else, which I absolutely agree with the fact that we are very different, but we also, of course, have a lot of similarities, right? But I don't necessarily think making that distinction in a certain context is productive. Like making that distinction in a conversation about the betterment and the advancement of any Black people, period, regardless of where they're from in the diaspora, that's not a useful conversation because at the end of the day, we all have the same
family. She wouldn't see the productiveness in doing so. Why? Because it affects her and her people the most. Delineation literally affects them from being able to use our skin in order to benefit themselves, all while literally turning around and using their skin to preach against the people that they're cosplaying here.
enemy. So it's like, what are we making that distinction for? Why are we making this separation? Again, all of it just feels very anti-African, and it just feels like, again, propaganda for more division, for more divide and conquer. So
it's anti-African to call these people out for all the scamming tactics that they've been out here doing to foundational Black Americans. It's anti-African to call out the fact that they're out here trying to put themselves in the front lines of reparations when they are not owed reparations. They didn't build America. They did not suffer the harms of slavery, nor did their descendants suffer the harm of slavery whatsoever. But yet these people can come over here and assimilate into our culture to turn around and then say we're being divisive for calling them out. That's interesting, but go ahead, continue.
Let's all respect one another. We all have our own culture, Black American people included, okay? And we all descend from the same place. All love. That's it.
All right, family. So let's get into her other video here.
Africans are cosplaying Black Americans. I don't really think you guys understand how silly you sound when you say this at times, but I think it really does speak to sometimes how Black Americans, when it comes to this particular subject, some of y'all can be a little bit narrow-minded in your thinking, because
every time I say I'm from Rwanda, they're interested, but they don't know much or they are not aware of Rwanda. But sometimes I try to pretend I'm from the US and they're so excited. They want
What's your name? Aisha. What's your African name? Yetunde. What does that mean? Mother has returned. Where are you from? I'm from Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. What's your American name? My name's Toby. Call me T-Breezy. What's your African name? what does that mean? It's going to speak. What's your name? What's your African name? Nanesi. What does that mean? Sunday boy. Where are you from? Accra, Ghana. What's your name? Daniel. What's your African name? Oluchuku. What does that mean? The big old guy. You know me, the big old guy. Where are you from? Nigeria.
Family, does that look like cosplaying to you? I mean, if I didn't know what cosplaying meant, that video would be a perfect representation of what cosplaying a foundational Black American would be. Would you agree? Please let me know. Drop a 100 in the chat if you would agree that that would be the perfect video to show somebody what cosplaying foundational Black American look like. Everything else is nonsense. Shalom and salute to our family, Jesse Paris. Thank you for being here. Let's go here.
Okay, so first things first, I just got done talking to my mother so I could go ahead and have the right information to feature some facts about myself and my family's history. But first things first, I was born and raised in the southern state of Tennessee. My great-great-grandfather served in World War I, which is my mother's great-grandfather, and my great-grandfather served in World War II, which is my mother's grandfather. My family's been here for generations, so don't question if I'm Black or if I have the right to speak on what's happening to our people right now and what's happening around the world. I, as a Black American individual, do not support the FBA ideology because I believe it divides us. Malcolm X and the Black Panther Party believed in global Black unity, and that's not what the FBA is about. They wanted Black people around the world to come together and not turn against each other. They didn't just fight for Black people in America, they fought for oppressed people everywhere around the globe because they knew who the real enemy was, and it's the system, capitalism and imperialism. Some of the things that I hear from FBA sounds just exactly like what white supremacists say. Stuff like they're replacing us or they're stealing from us. It's the same fear and hate that the far right pushes. It's just coming from.
First and foremost, the fact that this kid says, don't question whether I have the right to speak on this. First, everybody should be questioned whether they have the right to speak on these issues for exact reasons like this. You're saying that we're running around here sounding like white supremacists by saying that these people are coming here to replace us. We've never said that. What we're saying is people are coming here to destiny swap. They come in, they assimilate to the culture, and then they become one of the most avid enemies from within. That's one. Two, the situation with our reparations, where either they're against reparations because they're not going to get it, or they're trying to scam their way into getting our reparations. That's two. Salute Tatum, man. Thank you for being here, family, as well as Nubian Page. Much love to the both of you. Three, we don't have to say they're stealing our jobs or anything like that, because every goddamn a study that has come out when it comes to illegal immigration or just immigration as a whole and the effects on the Black community shows that it negatively impacts the Black community by way of what? Jobs. And by way of what? Lower wages. So if you're not bringing that up, I don't give a damn who your parents are. You are not knowledgeable enough to speak on this situation. But let's let them continue.
a black mouth, which is shameful. That's why I can't bring myself together to support the FBA ideology, man. If we're serious about defeating white supremacy, then we can't fight each other. We need to unite around the globe, unite with people of color around the globe, especially right here at home.
First and foremost, you can't defeat the system of white supremacy while kumbayaing with its agents. While you're trying to dismantle a system, they're trying to keep the system going. And no disrespect to this kid, but that's what he is. He's a kid. And you can tell he clearly does not have the proper information to even make a great opinion on the matter. But that's why I also say, in the words of our brother Neely Fuller, if you don't understand white supremacy, what it is and how it operates, everything you think you know will only confuse you. And this person sounds like a confused little kid. Let's keep it 100. Salute to Drew Laston. Thank you for your Cash App donation, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution.
Black, brown, indigenous, Asian, we've all been targeted by the same system. Malcolm knew that. The Panthers knew.
Yeah, we all been targeted by the same system, but who are the ones who tried to assimilate into that same system that actually oppressed all of us? It ain't us. Who are the people, the only people who are trying to dismantle that same system while all these other folks, whether being the Asian, African, Caribbean, or whoever else, comes here, tries to assimilate into the system that we're trying to dismantle, and then become an avid mouthpiece for that system? Who does that? Because it ain't us. Let's keep it 100.
That Louis Farrakhan knows that, and we all deep down know it too. Stop the division.
All right, family. Let's go here, because these people are highly delusional, and they're pushing this talking point of psyop, 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 because they know they have nowhere else to go. They have no other factual information on us. They can't target us by saying that we're actually being hateful, because no person around the world will look at them as being serious for trying to protect our culture and ourselves, for speaking for ourselves, for delineating, while these folks are doing the same thing, and they do it when it benefits them. Salute to Poison Ivy. Thank you for being here, family. But I want to show you the links, the lows that these people have to stoop to in order to get anybody to believe them. And people still ain't believing them. Oh, what the hell?
Third world, shattered black minds.
Now, family, the caption of this says, as a poet, I had to roast cosplaying immigrants and the Democratic Party in spoken word fashion. Maxine Waters, Jasmine Crockett. So she's calling out the tether. She's calling out the fake ass politicians. She's calling them out in spoken word form. But this person trying to make it seem as if, the caption says here, these FBA folks are sick. They are WS in blackface. They hate Caribbeans and African blacks in America. A government psyop created to divide people. This is sad as F. Okay.
Staring up at the Olmecs, the giants, face to face in awe, with a pair of flip-flops tethered to delusions and a bugged evil eye. Black on, Mask off. Their pride is veiled in idols, yet they're idling while sliding in FBA shoes in hoopty dreams and projecting no game. Now they're hooping and hollering. Mask on, black off. A tribe called Blackface says, I see you. Damn, that's a cold-blooded move. Trying to shuffle a goalpost, wokes an agenda that's cloaked in chakras and open borders, organized as agents of chaos until you're deported. FBA is undefeated. Away teams lose. I'm an FBA, y'all, and I approve this message.
I'm gonna be honest with you, family. I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't my cup of tea, but that's that woman's art, and she's sensitive about her ish. So I'm cool with that. But I just noticed that it put right there, right across her face. This ish is evil as F. This is the creation of Tariq Nasheed. Family, this is the lens. Let me show you this other stuff. Family, did you hear about this whole goddamn documentary that this dude put out saying ADOS and FBA is a government Psyop that is being being funded by some white supremacist organization? Let's go here. We're not going to play this whole thing. Just enough to get the point across.
Have you heard of ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery? How about FBA, Foundational Black Americans? I first encountered the term FBA in the comment section of one of my YouTube videos on the Harlem Renaissance. One comment read, the FBA families didn't migrate anywhere in the United States. They simply moved from one part of their country to another, and the term African American is null and void. I've noticed the term used by more and more Black Americans over the last few years. So what's the deal behind these terms, and what are they really about? To understand ADOS and FBA, one has to be familiar with their complex interrelationship with the Tantan group. Wow.
Family, salute to Crack Netter. Thank you for being here. Family. Are any of you tied to this so-called white supremacist group called the Tantum Group? Have any of you received a check from these white supremacists within this so-called white supremacist group, the Tantum? This is my first time hearing about this damn group. But yet, FBAs are funded by this group. Interesting.
ADOS and FBA primarily advocate for lineage-based reparations and identity for descendants of enslaved Africans in the United States. The Tantan Group is a network of organizations dedicated to severely restricting immigration, driven by a white nationalist agenda.
What the hell has that got to do with us? We're not out here trying to restrict immigration. We're trying to eliminate illegal immigration, one, because they're put into our communities and they're funded with the same funds that could be used to give to Black Americans for our reparations. So what are you talking about? Their agenda is their agenda. We really don't care about immigration, to be honest with you. You can take it or leave it. But let's let them continue.
A direct organizational link exists through Yvette Carnell.
Okay, hold on. I'll hold my comment. Let's go back.
Organizational link exists through Yvette Carnell, a co-founder of ADOS, who served on the board of Progressives for Immigration Reform, a group explicitly aided by John Tanton.
So let me get this straight. Yvette Cornell served on the board with this dude, this suspected white supremacist. And so, because she has a direct link to this white supremacist, you now say FBA have that same link? We don't rock with Yvette Cornell. That's her and her organization over there. Now, we rock with people no matter whether they call themselves FBA or ADOS, whatever term makes them feel more better or comfortable. That's their personal, preference. However, when you talk about Yvette Cornell, you're now trying to link FBAs to the ADOS organization, and we're not linked to none of that whatsoever. There we go. We don't rock with Strappy. That's not our get down. FBA is not a group. ADOS is a political organization. Exactly. Sure don't. ADOS is a foundation. Freedmen Foundational Black Americans is a lineage. So why are these people trying to tie us in to some situation that Yvette Cornell got going on? We've been calling her the ops for a minute. But let's let them continue.
Beyond this direct connection, significant ideological parallels exist in their shared anti-immigrant rhetoric and the principle of lineage-based exclusivity, which, despite differing stated motivations, contribute to similar outcomes of restricting immigration and fostering internal divisions.
Nothing about defending ourselves, nothing about pushing back on these xenophobic talking points when it comes to our lineage, none of that. We're just pushing division. Family, I get so tired of these folks running around here saying that we're a Psyop, when literally they're using the language of people who are agents within a Psyop. And family, I'm starting to see the pattern of this in a lot of different other topics. What you guys know about this gender war, quote unquote, that's been going on, or they say it's been going on? These folks don't call that a Psyop. As a matter of fact, they're the ones who are majorly pushing it. Let's go here.
Men and women are being pitted against each other, constantly fighting over who's a misogynist and who's not, and who's definitely an agenda aimed at men and women becoming adversaries.
Well, if you believe that, then you're an absolute idiot. The reality is that men don't know how to respect women, and we have evidence and statistics to prove this. You want to come here and act as if all of a sudden there's an agenda trying to keep men and women apart. You want us to believe that there was a time before all these gender wars where men and women were living in harmony with each other. Who's feeding you this bullshit? Women have always suffered at the hands of men, but they didn't have the platform to speak up. Women were suffering in silence. But the moment women start voicing their frustrations with the way men treat them, oh no, guys, please let's stop the gender wars. It's making me uncomfortable. What gender war? There is no gender war. Men hate women and do everything in their power to make women's lives more difficult. Calling this a gender war is a pathetic attempt to delegitimize women's valid complaints about men. You're complaining about the wrong thing. This gender war wouldn't exist if men treated women like human beings. You see that energy you're using to complain about the gender war? I wish you spent that energy holding men accountable for their bad behavior. This woman is sick and tired of me always stitching her videos, but she's always spewing the most ignorant takes I have ever heard. Now, she never mentions feminism in this video, but the way she describes this agenda leads me to believe that she's complaining about feminism. And 90% of the people who agree with her in the comment section are men. Women who stand against feminism are some of the most ignorant women I have ever come across in my life. It's unbelievable. They have zero survival skills. They will uphold men's perspectives and patriarchy over their own self-interest. Can you guys please start calling out these type of women? People like Noxie, people like Sihle, people like Tamara. I'm sick and tired of them. I agree with Noxie when she says human beings need each other, but men need to change first. If men refuse to change, if men continue to resist movements like feminism, which aim to give women dignity and respect, then women are better off alone.
So these people come here with the war that they already had raging in their own countries, and they bring it here and then start egging on this nonsense of gender war and pushing that propaganda on to us. Let's go here, family.
Any man that tries to please a woman is a fool. Capital born fool. A man is a god to a woman. A man is a bread that keeps a woman alive. A man is the bulldozer. A man is the engine that fuel the life of a woman. No, this is no peace. It's not a matter of liking me or what. You might not like me. Let me tell you something, host. Can you ever spell a woman without putting a man at the end? Just let's put it in this context. If you're a woman here, spell a woman without putting a man at the end. You will not begin to see that a man is what completes a woman. Spell a woo. Who is a woo? It's a complete statement. But when you put a man at the end, a woman becomes meaningful. Spell a female. You cannot spell a female without adding a male. What am I trying to say? A man is the master planner. Without a man, no man survives with a nuclear eye.
Quite a number of my sisters have tagged me under this post, and I'm going to say this, and I hope most of you listen carefully. Dear women, most of these content are rage bait content. This is not the first time this particular man is making ridiculous statements about women and demeaning women. First of all, when we look at the concept of female, the male is the last. It means that the male came out of the female, the femme. Even with woman, womb man, known as woman, it means the man came out of the womb man. The earth that sustains humanity is called Mother Earth, not Father Earth. The only gender that can truly lay claims to any child is a woman. When a woman is pregnant, carries the child and delivers that child, it is her child. But men do not know their children. Men can sleep with 3 women. Those women will be pregnant, and a man cannot specifically determine his offspring. Dear ladies, stop getting triggered with this type of content. According to research, married men live longer than single men. A man who is married on the average will live longer than a single man because women extend the life of a man because of our unpaid labor, cooking, cleaning, being their personal assistants, making sure a man is taking his medication when he's sick, and providing emotional and mental support.
You said that married men live typically longer than single men. Married women don't typically live longer than single women. And in fact, we probably die earlier.
Men like want her because she makes him go to the doctor. She yells at him when he's texting while he's...
Family, my bad. I didn't know that was going to go into this other clip here. Anyway, I want y'all to see, like, this is the stuff that they bring over here and then they perpetuate. Let's go here.
So this person behind me, I'm going to tag him, makes a video talking about how there's no gender wars in Nigeria. And his idea of a fair Nigerian society is where a man's mother pressures him to have a kid because his wife is infertile, and his sisters may or may not respect his marriage enough to go to the point that they could go find another woman that he could have an affair with. Nigeria is a country of 220 million people in Nigeria, not Nigerians. So there's more Nigerian people out there than people living in Nigeria. And he thinks that for a man to be unfaithful to his wife, she first of all has to commit the crime of being infertile. His mother has to pressure him to go have an affair in order to have kids. His sisters have to disrespect their marriage enough to go find another woman who is evil enough to participate in his infidelity. And that's his idea of a fair and equal society where a man is held to no account for his his idea of a fair Nigeria is...
Family, ain't nobody out here calling this a psyop. Ain't nobody out here talking about, oh, this was only put together so it could divide us. They're partaking in this with their full chest. They're partaking in this with their full chest. But let's continue.
A Nigeria where every woman in his life is held accountable for his actions. Nigeria has 220 million people, and the only example of a fair Nigeria when it comes to gender is one where men are not held accountable for the infidelity. Nigerian men, by the way, Nigerian men.
Men know that they're predators, but the reason why they lie to women and act like it's not most to all men is because they're protecting their right to be in a position to prey on other women and to also have their turn at abusing women. Why the fuck would they fuck up that opportunity? Why?
You said gender war. What the fuck have we been at? That's all men know is war, death, wrath. Like, that's all they know. That is literally all men know.
Salute to Toria Reigns. Full chest. What if they said, what if they were an A cup? Then I guess they're saying it with their full buttercups. I don't even know how to address that. Like, you threw me off on that one, brother. I'm beyond honest. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family.
Damn, that's so sad. That's so sad that that's their cop out. As soon as you tell a nigga, like, no, let's use intellect. You're like, no, men fight, war, beat up, death, okay. What's new? I want to be shocked. What's new? Another war. War. Death, destruction. War. Death, destruction. Okay. I've been doing that for fucking years. Millennia. Get a fucking new plot line.
Family, this woman's Nigerian. Like I said, ain't nobody coming out calling this a psyop. Nobody has stepped up and said, hey, you know, these gender wars within the African, and this is all off of African TikTok. This is African TikTok for you. If you go to TikTok and just type in gender wars Africa, you're going to see so many damn videos. Hell, you don't even have to type in gender wars. Just type in Africa. African men respond to African women, and 9 times out of the 10, it's going to be some gender war and nonsense. But nobody's coming out calling this a psyop. Do you see what I'm saying? Let's go here.
Oh, I hate to say this. I've realized African girls that are mostly into white men, they would make it difficult for a black guy that want to play tough and have standards when it comes to a black man. When it comes to a white man, they will literally be open to a one-night stand in hopes that they will bag a white. Oh my God.
I don't see them. I don't see them.
That's actually a fact.
No values, no standards. Where?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yes, and African girls, I tell you, I saw these things in Kenya. Hey.
But did you see them actually do that deed?
But you live in Uganda as well.
Yeah. What have you seen in Uganda? Is that saying I saw in Kenya?
Family, this woman is out here letting the tea drop all over the floor. She said it with her whole head, the whole forehead leaning forward. Let you know, African women, they have no problem chasing Zaddy. Gotta chase them a Nabisco Zaddy. But when it comes to black men, there's a problem. And she's African. So this ain't me just saying this. I don't have to say allegedly on this part. This is coming directly out of the mouth of this forehead. Let's let her continue.
In Uganda, I saw these things even in a club.
Okay, I saw you say in Uganda.
A black man will come to the table. Yeah. They will want him to buy a drink first, and be cool and buy pizza and everything. The moment a white man comes around, the skirts he will touch anywhere, like they actually don't care. So I realize African girls that like white men, they will make everything easy for a white man. Like the white man can get away with everything because they are so desperate for a white man.
Yeah. So this girl went to a whorish place. I'm sorry.
But it's reality. It happens.
It
happens.
Those are facts.
Even if you find girls on a website, on a dating sites, if it's a black man they're talking to, they are most likely not to send their nude picture to a black guy. They are most likely going to send a nude to a white man. Is that lies?
It's true.
Now, family, I'm for a long time. Salute to our family, Summer Breeze. Thank you for being here. Torre, you was on fire today. He said that wig. I'm telling you, the helmet wigs, I don't know where they get it from. They might, most likely it's China. Most likely it's Chinese. Salute to Brother Reef is in the building. Thank you for being here, family. If you've been here, I ain't even see you come in. My apologies, family. Pause on that. But family, for a while, I've been seeing this, and I've been calling out this same type of chicanery about the whole gender war and nonsense. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go here just to give you a couple of clips here. Let me go here.
So this is the third time that I've posted this video, and TikTok has consistently removed it, citing abusive behavior. But the funny thing is, the person who's actually being abusive in the video, which is the young lady, her video is able to remain up. But mine, of course, gets removed.
So, family, I was making this video in response to this woman that was going around who calls herself a dating coach, who was going around telling Black women that they should exit from the dating scene when it comes to Black men, that you need to go and get you a zaddy and all this other nonsense. And she said that they really, the system really fears a swirler. That's what they don't want to see. They don't want to see Black women with white men. They don't want to see white men with Black women. They don't want to see Black men with white women. No, they're afraid of Black women and white men. And so that's what I was calling out here. And like I said on several occasions, TikTok is a very racist platform, because anytime you're speaking about Black love, whether you're addressing someone else or you speaking just in the positive sense, 9 times out of the 10, you're going to have an issue. TikTok will come back and flag you for speaking up.
All because I'm calling out the nonsense in which she's stating. And then think about it like this as well. If I was one of those Black men attacking her for being a Black woman, then I guarantee you they would allow me to keep my video up. But since I'm not, and I'm speaking about the dynamic of which she brought up, how white men are better than Black men and all this other crap, since I'm speaking against that, then there's an issue. And you got to ask yourself, why would they allow you to go after each other? But then when I'm sitting here tearing down, using facts, tearing down an argument, do they have that removed?
Family, nobody was calling this a psyop but us. It was people in the Black grassroots that was out here making videos, letting people know that pushing this nonsense of the swirling nature it feels like a psyop to us. Let's go here. This is the Nigerian tether herself.
White men just come with less bullshit when it comes to dating right now.
Well, since TikTok has removed my video responding to this, calling it abusive behavior, because apparently I violated some protective attributes. I want to know what's being protected. Anyway, since they decided to remove my video, I decided to do this a different way.
And all the pick-me's that want to stand up for the Black man, this is not me dissing the Black man. This is me about to give you some fucking facts.
I really like how she said this isn't a video bashing Black men, but then call Black women who would come and defend us pick-me's. This whole thing is literally nothing but a commercial advertising the love of pink tube steak. That's all this video is. She says that it's not about Black men, but yet every second you turn around, she's talking about Black men. And if it was just about finding the best male for you, then she wouldn't even bring up Black men. What's the point of the video? She goes on to equate dating the Black man to the dating the white man, and said within 24 hours that the white man's done more than both Black men combined. Well, what is a Black man supposed to do within 24 hours? I mean, to be honest with you, white men are going to have more disposable income due to the systemic racism that Black people in this country go through. Not just Black men, but Black women as well. So let's be very clear about that. Of course, it's easier for a white man to say, you know what, let's just go out. But black men, we like to take our time, get to know a person. I mean, I got to talk to a person on the phone, not text. I need to talk to a person for up to a week before I can even decide if I want to take this person out or not, because I have to be able to literally know where you're coming from and hear your own headspace. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that by any means. I feel that people need to be careful with people, anybody who says that they're a coach in any type of way, especially people like this. She says she's a femininity coach, which is ridiculous, because basically she's saying she knows more about being feminine than most of you women, which is ridiculous. But then she can go on and push this type of content to the future generation of women as well. So while she's sitting here disrespecting black men every step that she has in this video, she turns around and glorifies the white man, basically saying that this is the man that deserves your femininity. Look, you better pay attention. Your client's inability to select good black men from a dating app is not indicative of all black men. As a matter of fact, it's no more indicative of all black men than your ignorance is indicative of all black women. If you want to have yourself to be a pink meat lover, that's on you. Okay? But leave black men out of it. And black men do the same. Leave black women out of it if you like that non-seasoned shit. Leave us out of it. Because all you're showing is that you more care about advertising than you actually care about helping people get real relationships. Let's be honest about that. Peace. If you like pink meat, just say that, Dan.
And that's that. That was years ago, family. So for years, I've been calling this out. And I ain't gonna lie, family, it feels good. It feels good for me to wake up and see that more and more foundational Black Americans is seeing the disconnect, right? Seeing that these people who are actually pushing this narrative tend to be not foundational Black Americans. And for some reason, they keep on hammering the same points over and over, while Black women are saying, you know, I love my Black men. Oh, you're a pick me, and vice versa. I love my Black women. Oh, you're just a little simp, ain't you? You think that they like you, blah, blah, blah. But like I said, let's go here, because I love to see the more and more people wake up. I love to see it, because it shuts down that BS narrative that we're in this gender war when it isn't us who's pushing it. No one's calling this a psyop.
African Black women hate their men. They do. And they're coming over to America because in their countries they cannot express this hate out of fear that they will be dealt with. They're coming over to America and they're completely taking advantage of the systems that we have created. They are intermixing themselves into our communities and spewing this Black male hate. And I'm going to tell you the type of Black American women who is latching on to this type of shit. It's the Black American women who have made the worst decisions in men, who have had multiple kids by multiple men, and they do not like it. They can't go back and change the hands of time. They're leeching on to this old I hate Black men movement that's being ran by these African women because it fits their narrative that they created for themselves. Black American women love our men. We always have. We might have issues of strife with them. That's between us. We deal with that. That's our issue. Everything else ain't got nothing to do with us. Whatever issues that Black people in other countries have, y'all can't just bring that shit to this country and throw that on us and expect us to pick it up. That's not our load. And then a lot of y'all be going into our past, our history, bringing up stuff, reopening wounds that don't need to be reopened. The things that we have been actively trying to work on as Black American men and Black American women, y'all are coming over just snatching the Band-Aid off, saying, fuck it. It doesn't fit what we have going on right now. You, a Black American woman and a Black African woman, will never make me hate Black American men. You can't make me do it. I don't care how mad you get. I'm a doormat, okay. I'm a pick-me-sha, biggest. However, you cannot convince me that your ideology is, as a matter of fact, hurt people ain't got no place sitting up trying to give somebody some advice. You need healing.
Gender wars really have nothing to do with Black American women. I used to be bothered by the things I'd see online regarding men and women, until I started going on these women's pages and seeing nothing but foreign flags. Because I would think to myself, how in the world did Black Americans go from such strong families to arguing over nonsense? But when I went on their pages and saw foreign flags, then it dawned on me. These are the same women who are ratchet on their islands. These are the same women that come from failed countries and failed family units. Jamaican women have been proven to abandon their children left and right. To my black kings out there, please understand, these are not black American women talking this nonsense. These are Caribbean women. Our women are nothing like them. We have strong families. We created the family reunion. We're a beautiful group of people. Recognize the difference.
You look happier. Thanks. I stopped dating black men. Let's talk about it. And I've written down some of the comments that I saw underneath the post. No one hates us more than black men. So the white men that lynched us, raped us, ate us, put in literacy tests so that we couldn't vote, etc., they somehow hate us less than black men do. I know you don't even believe that yourself. Black men don't think about settling down until they have 38 baby mamas. If I closed my eyes and didn't look at the profile picture of that person who made that comment, I would assume it was a white dude. Honestly, I feel the same way, and I'm a Latina. White guys are just better. And now y'all got fucking women of other races joining in on this shit too. Where's my white king? I'm tired of being in the trenches. I avoid dating black men because I don't want to be on welfare. What's wrong with black men? Everything. Y'all sound like skinheads. Y'all sound like neo-Nazi, Aryan, fucking KKK members. If you have preferences, okay, whatever. Like, if you want to date white guys, that's fine. You don't have to sound like a Ku Klux Klan member while you're doing it. Like, you really don't have to. It's just so sad because a lot of this really comes down to self-hatred and how a lot of black people have trauma that they really haven't unpacked. And for whatever reason, they think that the solution to this is to date white people. I'm sorry, that's really fucking stupid. People can suck equally. There's black men that are great. There's black men that suck. There's white men that are great. There's white men that suck. I don't think that's rocket science. I don't think generalizing any group of people is fair. I don't care how bitter you are. I don't think it's fair to generalize all black men just because you've had multiple bad experiences. I don't think that's fair. I kind of just think of it like this. We don't like it when white people generalize us as a whole. So like, why would we do that to each other? It's just really disheartening. Like every time I see one of those posts, I consistently click not interested, but I don't know what type of algorithm that these social media apps are trying to create where like they're pushing that content. But it's just so disheartening seeing like posts about like black men and black women hating each other. I don't want to see that. It sucks because this is such a long conversation. I can make this video like 30 minutes. But yeah, y'all sound weird. Like this, y'all sound like white hoods. Like, and I think it's
Salute to Aquarius Minder. What does she look like with that wig off? You ain't right for that. You ain't right for that. Salute to Hurricane IQ. Thank you for being here, family. But yeah, I'm glad that we're calling this nonsense out and we're actually putting a spotlight on the people who are actually pushing this narrative, who are actually speaking like agents of Psyopness. They sound like the agents of white supremacy. Salute to Bernice Brass. Thank you for being here, family. Because here's the thing. When you don't call these people out, they give permission, so to speak, for these Nabiscos to come in and start talking nonsense themselves, inserting themselves into situations such as this quote unquote gender war that's actually a psyop. Let's go here, family.
It was these women, not you, but these women who taught us we could get an education.
In all seriousness, okay, shut that shit up. Family, let me give you some context.
But these women.
This woman did a video where basically she was saying that the Nabisco owe black women, because if it wasn't for black women, right, they didn't get this. Black women was integrated in schools to show white women that they can go to school. It was because of these women, and I bull stuff you not. You can go and find this clip for yourself. It was because of black women being integrated into the school that white women learned that they can go to school. I swear to God, I laughed so hard at that. I laughed way too hard. Oh, yes. I have locks. I've had locks since 2013 or something like that. Yes, ma'am. Let's restart
It
that.
was these women, not you, but these women who taught us we could get an education.
All right, in all seriousness, okay, shut that shit up. See, my queens, this is what I mean by you give them an inch, they take a mile. First, they were mad about the sisterhood follow train. Couldn't do nothing about that. So now they're hijacking integration. They did it for women. All women, you know, because white women wasn't going to school at the time. It was black women that showed white women that they can go to school. I told you, no man can serve two masters and no woman can do it either. In all seriousness, this isn't funny. It isn't funny at all. But she showed did try to steal our story, huh?
Family, none of these things are looked at as psyops. None of it. All the chicanery and nonsense that people come out and talk about FBA on, they're never looked at it as psyops. They love to bring up Stokely Carmichael when we're talking about people coming to America and doing what these folks have been doing as of recently. They bring up, well, if I'm a tether, Stokely Carmichael is a tether. Here's the issue. They don't see this Pan-African issue as a psyop either. But we know it's a psyop. Look at us going from the Stokely Carmichaels to the Candace Owens of the world. We don't have the Stokely Carmichaels being brought over here. And nobody is saying, hey, you know, Candace Owens, she's moving like a psyop agent. Let's go here, family. Let's hear what Stokely said himself.
Talk to black people across this country. I want to talk to black people across this country. There are 4 things we have to do. Number 1, we have to stop being ashamed of being black. We've got to start being ashamed of being black. Number 2, we have to move into a position where we can define terms for what we want them to be, not what racist white society wants it to be. We have to move to define. We have to move to a position where we can feel strength and unity amongst each other from Watts to Harlem, where we won't ever be afraid. And the last thing we have to do is to build a power base so strong in this country that will bring them to their knees every time they mess with us.
Now, family, that was Stokely Carmichael. Now, we're not getting that type of energy from the new ones, are we? From the Candace Owens, this is what we're getting.
It's a broken culture, it's a broken society, and hip hop is hurting things. But I also want to talk to you about something I've realized. Even if Black Americans are aware and know their history, right? And you can get Black conservatives who understand the history much more, who understand, you know, the ills of the left and what the left has done. But still, in that regard, they bring to the conservative side the same bad habits that I was hoping Black conservatives would be abandoning. And what I'm talking about, number 1, is conflict resolution. Black Americans do not know how to resolve basic conflicts. Everything has to turn into a fight. I hate you forever. You got to draw lines. It's like you're this gang or that gang. And you still see it happening in politics. Mm-hmm. African-American culture, you think that in these classrooms, when you're taking African-American studies, you're learning about Black history. I have never in my entire life seen Black people more ignorant about their history than today, right? What they're actually teaching them is how to constantly see yourself as oppressed and how to see yourself through the vein of white people. Like I said before, game of opposites. Well, the reason why you're not getting ahead in life is not because you can't read, and we won't teach you how to read or teach you how to write or teach you how to learn any science, but because of the color of your skin and because of white people, which you need to go out and attack. And you're never attacking the one thing that is disadvantaging you the most. This is the same for women, right? It is an entire theory built upon the idea that the color of your skin determines your outcome, and it is causing friction in our society. It is not because of racial disparities. It is because people are being taught to think in a way that is going to always make them race to the bottom.
We're not getting the Stokely Carmichael Zari family. We're getting the worst of them, not the best of them. Salute to Hurricane IQ in the building. Much love to you, family. We're not getting Stokely's because we're too busy getting people like Roly Poly Martin.
I love when these Simple Simon Negroes, you ain't nothing but a tether, which is crazy because I love how y'all think that's an insult. But if you're going to call me a tether, which is a lie, then you're calling Stokely Carmichael a tether. Then you're calling Shirley Chisholm a tether. Then you're calling Sidney Poitier a tether. Then you're calling Harry Belafonte a tether. You're calling Marcus Garvey a tether. See, I love all you anti-immigration Negroes who then act like y'all black nationalists with a conscience, but then y'all skipping over all these black folk who have contributed to the African-American experience who were not born here or whose parents are not from here. And let me help y'all out. While y'all at it, y'all can praise Wes Moore. I guess y'all gonna call him a tether too. Look at his roots. See, this is the stupidity that we're seeing take place across our community. These people don't believe in organizing. These people don't believe in mobilizing. All they believe in is tearing down somebody who is doing something. And I just want y'all to understand, mama and daddy, grandmother and papa and mother fortified Roland Sebastian Martin. I don't give a damn what y'all think.
Are these people not Psyop agents? Are these people not being used in order to sway the minds of foundational Black Americans? In order to what? Get Black Americans back on the plantation? This isn't a PSYOP?
Lauren, again, while people are right now losing their mind, even some
one of the people.
even some of the dumbasses in our chat, and somebody like, "Oh, you can tell Roland's body language has changed." You're an idiot. It hasn't. Here's a perfect example. Okay, everybody's sitting here thinking blowout, blowout. It was driving me crazy when I saw all of that stuff about a blowout.
That's dangerous.
Okay, go to my iPad. Y'all, this is Pennsylvania in 2020.
Yep.
Biden won Pennsylvania by 80,000 votes. So folks need to understand, Pennsylvania is going to be close.
Yep.
Georgia is going to be close. North Carolina is going to be close. Biden lost North Carolina by 2.5 points.
Yeah.
And so, again, I'm not sitting here freaking because the first thing I'm looking at is where are the outstanding ballots?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm the Harris campaign and I'm looking at Georgia, it's a lot of Black and Democrat votes.
These people aren't moving in the ways of an agent. Like, it's funny that we're called PSYOPs. FBA is a PSYOP because we're fighting against all these different PSYOPs that are actually attacking us. From the illegal immigrants who are mad that we're not standing up for them and fighting for them to stay here illegally, to the Democratic Party and all them folks sitting there who are shills trying to get us back on the plantation, to politicians who is using our political capital to advance everyone else. No one are calling out these PSYOPs. But we're the PSYOP, the people who are fighting against that targeting. Very interesting. Here's another agent in participation.
Question I'm asking is, what is the expertise
that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your
What a
expertise?
tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so I'm going to answer
Please
for you. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school?
The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise?
These people ain't working in the Psyop. Like, it makes no sense to me. Yeah, salute Shabazz. They drank the Kool-Aid and really believe that we were dumb. And the fact that we're fighting against all this and telling them, hey, I see you here. No, we ain't rocking with that. We ain't rocking with this. We ain't rocking with that. We ain't rocking with that. Only thing we're rocking with is reparations, a transformative black agenda, and the black hate crime bill. Period, point and blank. Standing firm is Psyop, its behavior, apparently. But this woman and all of these folks who are being used in media to push a narrative for one political party, nobody sees it as a Psyop. Here's another one.
Among immigrants of slamming the door behind themselves. And more, and by the way, more, there is a phenomenon, and my family are immigrants. And there is a phenomenon among immigrants of slamming the door behind themselves. And more, and by the way, more Latinas, women in the Latino community voted for Harris. But there is a phenomenon. If you talk to people who actually are in the community and study this and spend a lot of time on it, journalists who studied it, there are a lot of Latinos who want so badly to identify with Americanness that they identify against fellow immigrants. That is not a new thing.
No, but maybe they weren't identifying. Maybe they weren't identifying. But Joy,
that's not new.
Maybe they were just
blackness. And
maybe let me respond to
the
that.
Latino community is not new. It's
let me respond to that.
Exists.
Maybe
that woman don't stand for us. That woman don't do nothing for us but give us a headache. Salute Crystal Watson, as well as our sister Baz 72 is in the building. Salute to both of you. These are ops. These are the people that I'm talking about, that I'm trying to get folks to understand. This is what a Psyop looks like, the language and the agenda, trying to push that agenda forward. And it literally does not benefit any of us, none of their agendas. They tend to hinder us, but us calling it out is a Psyop. This is what these people call a Psyop. No one's calling out the Psyop when it comes to all the tethers in government. Let's go here. Family? No one's calling this out as a Psyop. When you have 70% of more, of the congressional tethered caucus being all immigrants, black immigrants, so to speak, and nothing is getting done for us, that would be a Psyop. There's no way in the world that 3 to 4% of the population fills up a caucus at 70% or more. That's by design. That's by design, family. That isn't by accident, or that isn't by mistake. That was designed. No one calls it a Psyop. Well, we call it a Psyop. Let's go here.
Stop your bills. that stopped the bills that, you know what I'm saying, to get passed for Black people. Now, if you look at these people, then you notice that Kamala stop your bills. That stop the bills that, you know what I'm saying, to get passed for Black people. Now, if you look at these people, then you notice that Kamala Harris is like the second person that's in the role. She is a member of the Black Caucus. And if you look at all of these members, the majority of them are not even indigenous to this land. They are immigrants. So we got a bunch of immigrants that's basically, you know what I'm saying, stopping every bill for Black people. They're stopping everything for Black people. But these are the same immigrants that call themselves the Black Caucus, that does everything for immigrants, but don't do nothing for you because they are immigrants themselves. Okay? So the other day, it was a bill that was trying to get passed for reparations in California. And don't you know they blocked that bill? These are the people right here that blocked the bill. And as you can look at the majority of them, they're not even indigenous to this land. They immigrants. And do you think for a second that these people right here going to give you something and pass anything for Black people? Do you really think so? Because Kamala Harris and the rest of the coons are a member of the Black Caucus. So you tell me, is these people right here going to do anything for you? They've been in power for the last past, 12 to 60 years? I could say, you know what I'm saying, 60. They've been in power forever. And they does nothing for Black people, but does everything for immigrants. Because they are immigrants, they damn self. So I need my people to really go do your research and go do your homework, because you really focus on the wrong thing. You need to be focused on these people right here that's stopping everything for Black people.
That's it. That's all, family. That's not a psyop. The cultural copy paste in order to get into positions that they would never get into otherwise. They copy our slang, our music, our fashion. They copy everything about us. All the aesthetics is 90% foundational Black American, no matter who you're speaking about. But none of them are willing to do anything for foundational Black Americans, no matter who you're speaking about. That's not a psyop. When we talk about our unique lineage to separate from these people who are not doing for us, who are supposed to be our representation, we're the psyop. No, family. I just think that they're upset that foundational Black Americans are doing more of this.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about an immigrant, man. Look. The immigrant guys, let's talk about this. Let's take academics, for example. Immigrant. This man was supposed to be a mathematical biologist. He's seen our culture here in America. It's like, this shit crazy. Because where they come from, it's not going down like that. He made his career off what me and the guys really do. The dude, Flacco, immigrant. And don't he got, he caught a case for harassment. Pull that up. What's the other dude? Oh, fresh and fit. Myron. Yeah. Immigrant. See, that's the problem. We as Black men in America, the shit that they want to glorify, we trying to get away from. We not trying to come on the internet and talk gangster. We did it already, and we all sitting here by the skin of our teeth, man.
Like I've said before, why don't y'all just be honest and say that you do not care for foundational Black Americans? The reason that Black people in the diaspora outside of the United States of America do not like foundational Black Americans, and that is the descendants of chattel slavery. It's because y'all really hoped that we would lay down and freaking die, or that we will be over here trying to kiss your butt, trying to get back to the motherland. We know that you don't like us. You come over here sitting on the lap of white supremacy, looking down your nose at foundational Black Americans, while also benefiting from the systems that I fought for, my father fought for, my grandfather fought for. You can say whatever you like to say about us. You can say whatever you want to say about foundational Black Americans. But baby, we set the standard worldwide.
That's it, family. Salute to the ears that hears the truth. Thank you for your Cash App donation, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution. Family, that's the truth. Let's go to some more.
Trying to figure out how FBA or Salon is a hate group. I was seeing a couple posts talking about it's a hate group because you have Black Americans, I guess, trying to be isolated or whatever. But my thing is, it's hard for me to really feel sorry if that's how y'all feel, because there was a time when Black Americans were drilled, were laughed at, mocked, told that they don't have no culture, they don't know who their grandmoms are, their great grandmas are. And a lot of people want to say, well, you know, y'all have to be the bigger person and y'all shouldn't let that. But after so many years of that being said, now you have this new appreciation, and it's not for white supremacy, but it's for the accomplishments that Black Americans have done in this country. Nobody wants to be white because being Black is where it's at, obviously, because that's what everybody wants to be. But I just think it's really funny how when you hear people, Black Americans on here, saying proudly, like, no, we're Black American, the main thing that gets brought up is slavery and all this stuff. How could y'all be proud of this type of country? When, like I said in my last post, you have people proud of different African countries. It ain't all rainbows and sunshines there. It's oppression, it's wars, it's everything there. And these other places that Black people reside, all types of stuff go down. But when it's time to party, they still waving their flag and they still repping where they're from and acting like it's the best thing in the world. You know, so I just feel as though everyone should be able to be proud of who they are and where they're from, and just work to just be better people. I feel like in the end, that's where it really should be, is being able to have a sense of pride in yourself regardless. But it was necessary for Black Americans to become more confident in who they are. I love seeing the pictures that people are posting, the census records. Like, you see Black Americans, especially people who probably were never interested in their family history, doing their work, doing their history, finding things, you know, putting their family trees together. I love seeing stuff like that, you know, and posting it on here. These were faces that were meant to be erased. These were histories and stories that was meant to be erased. Why should Black Americans' history and stories be erased just to satisfy people? And like someone else had mentioned, at the end of the day, you can't change the past. How we got here is how we got here, but we're here now. So what do we do now? What do we do now as a group of people? We all came from places that needs a lot of work. Obviously, this country needs a lot of work. But I feel like it's crazy to say, like, Black Americans shouldn't be proud that they were put in a place that was meant to destroy them and leave them unalived. When they multiplied, they became great, they did things, they did big things that a lot of people were able to benefit from. So why should we have to be ashamed of that? Why should we have to be ashamed to say, yeah, I'm Black American? Because like I said, even on this app, I saw a couple posts where people, foreigners, talking about, you know, I wasn't brought here, I flew here. Comments like that. Like, when you say comments like that, you're saying that to make Black Americans feel less than. Like, there's nothing, like, it's no way. I'll never forget. At my old job, this lady, she was from, I want to say, Sierra Leone, and she got really mad. She said, I didn't come over here like this. I came over here like this. I didn't come over here like this. Like, let's be for real. So it's like, people, just like y'all got y'all, y'all want to keep talking about African booty scratcher. Black Americans was calling each other African booty scratcher. Black Americans was talking about each other big lips and dark skin. We do that. Is wrong. It was wrong, yeah. But let's not dismiss the stuff that was said to us. Like, you literally have people that come on here telling us, yeah, when our parents came to this country, they told us not to mingle with Black Americans. They told us not to hang out with Black Americans. Black Americans are bad. These are things that y'all told us that was said. That's why I just don't understand. Like, I would think it's better for, I would think you would.
All right, let's take a detour. Brandon Dumas, thank you for being here, family. Now, you say you don't understand how we as a new movement is sitting on the couch. We actually have political weight in the booth. You're starting to think that this is just a money grab. Not yet, but let me be very clear with you. We have political weight because we showed that we're not afraid to sit it out. That's called politics, buddy. See, people think that voting for a candidate is the only way to push your political leverage. That's not what politics is. Politics is a fair exchange, no robbery situation. You want my vote, you're going to bring me tangibles. You're going to do X, Y, and Z for my community. You're going to do this, or you don't get my vote. That's how politics work. And that's how every other people within the United States use their vote. It is only foundational Black Americans who are told that we should be giving away our vote for free. We should be propping up a party that has done nothing for us for the past 60 years. Or we should be having a rage vote and giving our vote over to the Republicans. That is not sound mind, and that is not sound thinking. That is not politically educated person, that is a person who moves by emotion. And foundational Black Americans are no longer moving by emotion. So no, this is not a cash grab. Anybody will tell you who make any kind of money from YouTube or anywhere else, it's not really a lot of money, especially when you're pro-Black. When you're pro-foundational Black American, that money you might get some donations here and there. It is never something that's going to be sustaining. But if I was talking about white supremacy as if it didn't exist, oh, I can make millions of dollars doing that. I can make millions of dollars speaking ill about the Black experience, about foundational Black Americans. And if I wanted to say, hey, Black Americans need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and stop blaming everybody, including white people, for their own problems. If I said that tomorrow, guess what? I would make $1 million within the next few weeks. That's not what we're about in the Black grassroots or in the new Black media. So no, this isn't a money grab. This isn't a grift. The people who are in a money grab are the people like Roland Martin, the people like Al Sharpton, the people like Crackhead Crockett, the people like Brandon Tater Tots. These are your people who are in a cash grab. Oh yeah, and your Tucker Carlson, excuse me. Shout out to Tucker Carlson. I saw you come in, family. I did not mean that. Not you. Tucker Carlson I was talking about. So it's very important that you internalize that. Because if you're talking about using the voting booth when there is nothing to vote for, and there is nothing on the ballot for us, then you're talking about pushing insanity in itself at its core by doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, even after seeing that result not changing. So I hope this brief intermission will sit with you, and I hope you think about that, because I don't think that you truly believe that. And if you do truly believe that, I want to make sure that your belief is exterminated. Nobody in the new Black media or in the Black grassroots speak up for our people because it's popular, because it's not. We don't speak up for our people because we get paid for it, because we don't. As much as we appreciate every donation and contribution, 9 times out of the 10, we put that back into the channel. That's it. That's all. There is nobody. And maybe on a grander scale, maybe Tariq makes more than $5,000 a month due to the engagement that he has on his channel. But a smaller networks, we're not seeing nothing like that on the payouts. We'll be lucky to see a few hundred. So with that being said, we're moving back to where I was at. Now, family, let's get back over here, because those are all same talking points, just as much as the Psyop talking point. Those are the same type of talking points that is not just politically ignorant, but just loud and wrong. And this is no disrespect to you, but that's what it is. It's political ignorance, and it's being loud and wrong. Let's be very, very clear about that. Nobody talking about reparations is getting any type of real damn money from any of these damn platforms whatsoever. Because a lot of the times we're shadow banned. Because a lot of the times, no matter how many people sharing and liking and all this other stuff, we're not pushed through the algorithm for everyone else to see. Because we're not talking about the things that are grifts. But back over here to this Psyop nonsense, family. A lot of these people know that the talking points that they use is full of stuff. A lot of people know this, including their own damn people. But they mask their no by telling lies. You see, if they have to tell the truth, then they would actually have to speak up on the issue of them being cultural leeches. They would have to speak the truth about them being people who are on the inside fighting against everything we as a people are fighting for our people. And they're not doing that. They don't want to do that. Salute to the big black God. Thank you for your Cash App donation, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution for the collection plate. Keep spitting facts. Much love to you, family. Much love to you. Let's go here, family, because I want to show you that they know, even though they pretend they don't know what this is all about. They know we ain't a psyop. They know we're not freaking a goddamn cult. They know we're not none of that. Let's go here.
What's your views on Tariq Nasheed? Because he's got this thing called Foundational Black American.
Yeah. Notice how this British dude immediately, it's not really about foundational Black Americans. A lot of these folks just have this hatred, and that's a lot of the clips that I've been showing that shown that it's all about Tariq Nasheed. They have Tariq derangement syndrome. But let's let them go.
What's your views on Tariq Nasheed? Because he's got this thing called Foundational Black American.
Yeah.
What is that about? Because I feel like that's pure division. If I'm not honest.
It is. But I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. This is what it is. There were too many Black people from outside Africa, from outside America, going to America and playing the ass. And what it is African Americans spotted this and spotted that there's a consistent pattern. Black Caribbeans, Black people from Africa going to America and being the ass. And what the FBA agenda is putting up a wall and saying, no, you guys can't be a part of this if you're going to be on that raccoon train.
When you say playing the ass, what? Because from what I know, a lot of Africans, a lot of Caribbeans who go there, academically, they're surpassing them. And also business-wise, they're surpassing them. So who was playing the ass?
Academically, they're surpassing us, and business-wise, they're surpassing us, this tether says. Family?
And they then use that to say, well, that means that you African Americans are lazy. Do you see? Yes. And then being on some right-wing conservatism, let's throw African Americans under the bus.
That's true.
Now notice how this other tether didn't tell him, well, that's not true. Under certain circumstances, there are certain people doing better than others, but that's not true. He didn't say that right away. And then also notice how he tried to make it about being conservative. Oh, people coming with conservative talking points and values. It's not just that. You got many of the Democratic shields doing the same damn thing. Coming with different talking points that's coming out of the DNC in order to demonize foundational Black Americans. Like you're a cult. Like you're a psyop.
Pretend that Jim Crow didn't happen. Redlining didn't happen. Breaking up of African American business districts. Breaking up of African American families. The COINTELPRO didn't happen. The Iran Contras and then moving drugs into the black community didn't happen. Yeah, and there's a whole list of things continuing right up until now that the American government has done to African Americans. And so for those black people recently arrived from outside America, you all didn't face any of that. So of course you're going to be doing better than African Americans.
Yeah. But not all of them can be affected by this. There's always got to be certain people who rise above it, regardless of what the situation is. It's just the natural nature thing. Weeds grow through gardens, you name it. Why do you think it is that a country like Jamaica or Africa, where they too have had their deprivations, had their colonialism, had their slavery, why do they go somewhere and tend to excel amongst people who also have gone through it?
Notice, family, keyword being, why do they go somewhere? Not why are they more successful than in their own homes? Not why are they more successful in doing A, B, or C? No. Why do they go somewhere and are more successful? Because they can't do it at home. And they're elevated in the somewhere in which they go. And where is that? It just so happened to be here. And guess what? Foundational Black Americans don't go somewhere in order to be more successful. We become successful in a land that we built. In the very same land that has all of these discriminatory laws and practices against us that targets foundational Black Americans. But he couldn't even pick that up in what he said. Why do we go somewhere and be more successful than the people there?
Because you're not comparing like with like, that's why.
Okay.
A lot of us think we are comparing like with like. You're not. Let me explain. Generally speaking, Caribbeans in America, not the ones in the Caribbean, but the ones in America, will represent the top 10%.
I see.
So if you're really going to compare like with like, you have to compare the top 10% of Caribbeans with the top 10% of African Americans.
Okay.
And when you compare the two, the African Americans are slaughtering us, bro. It's not even close. It's a massacre. But what it is,
at least he got up the nerve to finally tell the damn truth and said it plain. When you compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges, there is no damn comparison. When you compare the top 10% of them who comes over here to the top 10% that's over here already doing well, it is no comparison. And then when you compare your bottom or mid tier of people over there to our bottom or mid tier people over here, we're still slaughtering them. Rich in education, rich in funding, just plain old rich compared to all of their middle to bottom tiers.
We compare the top 10% with your average African American. You're not comparing like with like. And if you compare your average African American, you're 51, you've got 1 to 100 and Mr. number 51. Number 51 is richer by a factor of 20 than your average Jamaican. Do you see? So what happens is it's a perception thing. Now let's be clear. We can all point to people from outside America. Go to America and rise. Yeah, Colin Powell did that. Kamala Davy Harris has done that, whatever. But you can't pretend that's typical. Do you see?
Yeah.
But what happens is because we live in a world where people don't really have full pictures, you can take the exception, use that to smack around African Americans' faces. This guy just got off the boat. He's doing better than you. Not realizing, but for my man to have got on the boat in the first place, he wasn't typical of the country that he was coming from. He was in the top echelons of that country. Do you see?
Yeah.
And the same is true also with people from Africa going to Black America. So if we're going to compare the top 10%, so let's compare the top 10%. And when we do that, African Americans are slaughtering us.
That's it, and that's all. So family, they know what this is all about. They know why we are delineating. They know that we're not a psyop. They know that we're not a cult. They know. And so do we. We're not going to act like they're not a bunch of different people running around here acting in a manner that is hindrance towards the elevation of foundational Black Americans. We're not going to do that at all. We're not going to act like these people ain't going around conspiring with people in not just politics, but law enforcement in order to be here and then turn around and, you know, be the opposition to everything we're fighting for. Did you hear about, salute to Archie Thomas, thank you for being here, family. Did you guys hear about the police officers who were being paid to stage violent crimes in order for these illegals to be able to stay in the country? $5,000 a piece. Let's go here, family. Let's go here.
How about this next story? 3 current or former police chiefs and others are accused of faking robberies to help immigrants to obtain visas to stay in the United States. Investigators out of Louisiana say they did it with the help of a local businessman in a scheme that lasted nearly a decade. Prosecutors say they were paid $5,000 a name, and they caught on because of the unusual amount of people being robbed who were not from Louisiana. News Nation's Brooke Schaefer is with me now. I mean, Brooke, talk about gaming the system. How many people are we talking here?
Yeah, Louisiana investigators, Marky, say there could be hundreds of people who got U.S. visas as part of this decade-long scheme where federal authorities, as you mentioned, alleged 3 current or former Louisiana police chiefs, a marshal, and a local businessman took bribes in exchange for filing fake police reports. The people who paid for those reports could then apply for certain visas in the U.S. as crime victims. Louisiana investigators on Wednesday alleged this scheme started sometime in the beginning of 2015 and continued until July of this year.
You know, the police officers were paid $5,000 per name. That's what we allege in the indictment. And that there were hundreds of names. And this is a very, very significant case. It's not 2 or 3 people, you know, there are hundreds of names.
Investigators say people who needed these special visas would reach out to businessman Lala Patel, who would then get them in touch with those local police chiefs to file fake police reports. Police say many of these reports claimed the migrants were victims of armed robberies that never actually happened. Prosecutors say the fake police reports let hundreds of people get what's called a U visa, which allows crime victims to stay in the U.S., oftentimes as witnesses to help prosecutors. The DOJ and Louisiana investigators wouldn't say what this indictment means for the people who paid for those visas, only that it's still an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
Marky?
Eager to see what this means for them, the undocumented fake victims out there. Brooke, thank you.
Family? Is anybody calling that a psyop? See, us delineate has been one of the best things because we've been able to see everybody's just disdain for us. And our sister Summer bring up a very valid point. You got to also think about all the people who were being accused of being the person who robbed these people. Guess in your mind, in your heart, just take a guess of what these people would probably say when they ask for a description. Who will they describe? And this is what they're out here doing. But we're being called a psyop. We're being called the cult. With all this going on. So, family, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I think that we should start agreeing with these people and saying, you know what, you're right. We are a Psyop, and we don't want nothing to do with either one of you. Sure, call us what you want to call us. As long as you don't come by us or come near us, stay the hell away from us. You can call us whatever. We don't care. And since we're a Psyop, we're going to start, working with the government to get you up out of here. Salute to this sister, our sister Jazzy, who put out a call to arms, a call to action, excuse me. I don't know why I said call to do, but a call to action to do just that. Let's go.
Okay, so y'all, I was just in these streets watching a video, and then I ended up in this long conversation with an African person. I think she was Nigerian, and also a woman from Jamaica, right? And so the video was talking about how it was about opportunities in America, and basically them talking about how the U.S. government is prioritizing immigrants over Black Americans and over Americans in general, right? And so basically their stance is like the usual stance. You can't be upset with us. You can't be upset with us. Y'all have to take it up with your government, et cetera, et cetera. And so we ended up talking about like the AU, the African Union, all of that different stuff. I said, y'all right. We should take it up with our government. And that's what we're doing. Right? I said, you're right. Nobody, no Black American could be upset, okay, about employers prioritizing melanated immigrants, or the government prioritizing melanated immigrants and giving them various different funding to achieve whatever it is that they're achieving, right? Nobody should be upset about that. I say, you're right. It's not your fault, okay? We're going to take it up with our government, okay? And that requires us to call our state representatives and state senators about the African Union thing and trying to figure out how we ended up the 6th region, and figuring out why are they giving them funding for something that does not involve us, that we have nothing to do with, that we have no say in, right? We're going to figure out why in the world are they giving people who immigrate here various different opportunities and shutting out American citizens and not prioritizing American citizens. If Trump said America first, then this is no better time than to hold him to that. Now, once I started going in that direction and agreeing with them, y'all know what happened, right? Now it's, oh, but why would you want to cause us, because what cause us harm, or what would that mean for us, et cetera, et cetera. I said, no. If Black Americans trying to talk to y'all to mediate the situation in-house, right? To make you mindful of the situation, the way in which that we are being shut out of things, we are being blocked out of opportunities for things. And your answer to that is, oh, well, we need to go take it up with our government, because our government is the one who is catering to you, right? And prioritizing you. That is not your fault. I agreed with you. And I say, you're right. That isn't your fault. We have to go take it up to the government. Why do I hear, well, no. Because I am a solution-based person. And the solution is we need to go take it up with our government, right? BAs, take it up with our government. Start doing the moves that we need to make. Start mobilizing and doing the things that we do. Our usual BA stuff, right? Because everybody knows how Black Americans get down. Everybody in this country knows. When Black Americans want to make a move and want to bust a move, the shit that we want happens. Okay? So they went, y'all, into doing all of that circle stuff. I ended up going ahead and exiting the conversation. I find it very interesting because they talk, but they don't think it all the way through until you agree with them and you are like, yeah, these are the different things that we need to do. These are the things we need to do. I said one day these folk gonna realize that their mouths keep writing checks that their ass can't cash. So Black Americans, y'all need to take their advice, not be mad at them, not fight with them, not argue with them. Start taking it up with the government, because the government is the one who is allowing this to happen. Trump said, America first, hold him to it.
Salute to her all dang day, because she spit that hot fire like Dylan. Salute to our brother Kid Gravity in the building. Much love to you, family. Thank you for being here. Yeah, family, I'm in 100% agreement with the family. Every single time someone coming to us talking about FBA is a Psyop, okay, yeah, and we're gonna work with the government to make sure that all those resources that you've been getting don't go to you anymore. Yeah. Let's move like that. I truly like that. Because like I said, they're not calling out any of these tethers for being Psyop. They're not calling out any of these people within the political spectrum and realm for being Psyops. No. We're the Psyops for trying to protect our interest. So let's do what the agent would do. Work with the government in order to make sure that all those protections and all those resources and things like that don't go to them anymore. That's that. Much love to Astarte Jones. Thank you for being here, family. But with that being said, family, if you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. Like I said, family, this whole talking point, the whole narrative that FBA is a psyop, it's extremely hypocritical. It's extremely loosely, like it just screams, I'm mad that you won't let me screw you over. Because like I said, I didn't showed you the gender wars and how they're majorly pushing that and no one's saying that's a psyop. I done showed you the from Stokely Carmichaels to the Candace Owens to the Roland Poland Martins to the goddamn Joyless Reeds, all of them. No one's calling them psyops. We didn't talk about the Pan-Africanism without any type of, compensation from Pan-Africanism. No type of back and forth. And how they use that in order to get into these positions and then turn around and fight against everything that we're fighting for. At high levels, like your CBCs, like your goddamn Congress members, like your senators. And then they continue to climb higher and higher, like your Kentucky Derby Browns. Who everybody will then say, oh, they're so for black people. But then when you look into their background, it shows that they didn't tossed out a goddamn settlement for millions of dollars for foundational Black Americans with no reasoning behind it. Not just tossing it out, but making it impossible to bring it back, tossing it out without prejudice. These are psyops. These are agents of psyops, not foundational Black Americans for calling it out. But with that being said, family, thank you all for being here. I'd like to thank everybody, all the members, everybody in the chat, everybody who's not in the chat, and everybody who'll be here later on the replay game. Much love to you. Salute to you. Also, thank you to once again everybody who donated, whether on Super Chat or in the Cash App. I appreciate you tenfold. And also, much love to each and every single person who's running the numbers up, because I see you out there, family. Much love to all of you. But with that being said, family, damn these people running around here using that coded language. Oh, the Black Americans, foundational Black Americans is a psyop. Foundational Black Americans is a hate group. Foundational Black Americans is a cult. Then why do you want to be close to us? Then why do you want to be in unity with us? No, I think that you see something that you probably should have saw a long time ago. You're seeing that we're no longer casting a wide net, pulling in anybody into our culture. We're checking the paperwork out the door. And that's what the big issue is. Because the truth of the matter is, like I said, these people participate in psyops every single day, especially on TikTok. Because everywhere you look, it is another video talking about foundational Black Americans this, foundational Black Americans that. But with that being said, family, the doors of the church are now closed. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Peace, family.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
I know that the government, whatever can't stand us black people, he doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing, us black people going to survive. So fuck everybody. I'm out.